Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am here at work again and I wanted to just sit down and talk to you about the reasons why I decided to quit graduate school. I recently submitted in my final paperwork to quit and I thought this would be the perfect time to just sit down and just chat. So if you have the time, just like grab a coffee or a drink and just maybe put this on background and let's just share and reminisce about my last few years here in Korea. So a little bit of a backstory. I am a native English teacher here in Korea. My career spans a little over 9 years in both Korea and Japan. And during that time, I've had a lot of ups and downs and I've wanted to quit, but I realized I really love this job. So I continued it for over 9 years, even during those tough times. And I decided to apply to graduate school here a few years ago and started taking classes on campus. In Korea, well, at my school, I applied to the Seoul National University of Education, which is a different university than Seoul National University, so please don't get this too confused. I applied there and I took 2 classes a week, well, 2 subjects. That was the most you could take per semester, and each subject was 1 class a week. So I went on campus for twice a week from 7 to 10, and during that time I was also working full-time. I had started at a new school. I think that's correct. During my graduate school period, I started at a new school, and that school was quite far from where I lived, and I would wake up around 4 or 5 in the morning to get to school or get to work, and then I would get off from work around like 4 or 5, and then I would go straight to my graduate school, have dinner before class, and then have class from 7 to 10, and then go home. It'd be like around 11 or 12 before I got to sleep, before I fell asleep, and I would have to wake up around 4 or 5 in the morning the next day. Albeit that was just for twice a week, but it was still taxing. However, that was not the reason, well, not 100% the reason why I decided to quit. When I was studying for my bachelor's degree, I hated it. I hated it so much with a burning passion. I hated what I studied. I hated my university experience so much that I promised myself after I graduated I would never go back to university. I would never go back to school ever again. And here I was applying to a Korean university. During my bachelor's degree, we had 3-hour classes just like I had here. At my school, for my bachelor's degree, we had either 3-hour classes from 8:30 to 11:30 in the morning or 7 to 10 in the evening. And those were the most excruciating classes ever because first, I hated what I was learning. I didn't understand it and it was a nightmare. And it was 3 hours long during the evening. So of course I fell asleep and I hated it and I fell behind. But I also had 3-hour classes here at my graduate school and I never fell asleep. I loved what I was learning, and even with the tough schedule, even when I had to wake up at 4 or 5 in the morning, I loved going to class. I loved my professors, and I loved meeting other teachers and working professionals there, and everything was great. I started to slowly think about quitting graduate school when I decided to take a break. I took time off after my 2nd semester of graduate school, and there were many reasons for it. First one being my health. Getting up at 4 or 5 in the morning every day to go to work, even when I didn't have graduate classes, I would still come home really late and I would average around 4 hours of sleep a day. And I was so tired every day. I would fall asleep at work and I was eating terribly, and my eating disorder kind of came back during that time, and mentally I was not well. And so I thought the best course of action was to quit graduate school or take a break and focus on my health. which has been a lot better these days. Second, I've been working as a native English teacher, as I said, for over 9 years, and during that time, I never once thought about getting married or having a boyfriend or just having a family, like a future family. I just kept thinking about what I would be doing in the future. Like, it was all just about me. And I'm not trying to sound like narcissist. I'm not a narcissist, but like, I just kept thinking about my future. I didn't think anyone else would be in my future, like a boyfriend or like having a family. And that was never the plan, but plans change, and I met my boyfriend a few years ago, and we started talking about plans to like live abroad and work abroad and maybe have a family someday. And I realized families and babies cost a lot of money. Life costs a lot of money, and unfortunately, being a native English teacher, you don't get paid a lot of money. Even with the 9 years of experience I have, I probably would be making similarly, like a similar amount to someone who had like maybe a year or two experience. And it is a little bit unfair. And I didn't want to be like, this is controversial, like our pay has not changed a lot in the last few years, if at all, but I didn't want to be like a 40 or 50-year-old having a child, like go through school and then still getting paid the same amount I was getting paid now, and then having to support my child and my family with that salary. It would not be feasible. So that was kind of one of the main reasons that I kept thinking about quitting. Like, in my opinion, this will be also controversial, but I feel like we are so easily replaceable because there are so many people who want to come to Korea and work and experience Korea, which is great, but there is always someone that will take my place, and they don't need to pay us a lot of money, so why do that? So I get paid probably right now similarly to what I got paid when I first came to Korea, like 5-6 years ago. So I'm not expecting like a pay raise, a significant pay raise in the future. My pay has gone like up and down depending on where I've been working, and I'll talk about that maybe in a different video, but to sustain a family, I don't think it's possible. Well, it could be possible because I know many people who do that, but for me, I have my extended family here as well, and in my family, this is actually, I guess, the third reason why. I have 2 aunts, and my aunts have raised me like I was their own daughter, and my parents sacrificed a lot for me, like to move to a different country where they didn't really know the language. And I want to do, like, obviously as an Asian, like immigrants, child, like daughter, I want to do as much as possible to pay back my parents and my aunts for everything they've done for me. Like, my aunt hasn't even been able to travel to Canada. The furthest she's ever traveled to was Hong Kong, and even that was like pulling like teeth, like to get her to travel with us. But like to travel to Canada, it's so much more expensive, and like she can't afford that, and I want to do that for her, and I want to do so many things for my family and my aunts that I need to be able to earn a lot of money, which I wouldn't be able to do as a teacher. So that was one of the main reasons, like I wanted to just quit and find a new career path, even though I really love this job. One of the other reasons, I guess, I don't know, I'm just going back and forth like everywhere. As I said, I did not plan this out, but students themselves have changed a lot since I first started working in 2014. Parents have also changed a lot as well. I would be more than happy to share some of my horror stories with some of my past students and parents that I've had to deal with, but it's just hell sometimes. Just being realistic, I know there are many other people who would be chosen way faster than I would be. So that was quite a big reason as well. I did take a month off, not by choice, a few years ago because I had to quit suddenly from a non-education type of job, and I was looking for jobs left, right, and center, and I just kept getting cut even with my years of experience. Like, obviously there were probably many other reasons why I got cut, but like, you could see that like on their wall of native teachers, there was not one like native teacher that looked like me. I've been told that I don't look like a native teacher by parents as well, and parents have requested that like they want their child to have a native English teacher that looks like a native English teacher. They always ask, is my child's native teacher, or not always, but I have had parents ask if their child's teacher is going to be a native English teacher, even though it's clearly written. I don't know, I'm just like rambling on about so many different things, but I'm gonna stop here. I'm gonna try and like write down some stuff because this was just so chaotic. If you have any questions about life in Korea or graduate school in Korea, please feel free to comment below, and I'll like try to make a video of it in the future. And I'm just gonna calm down because I feel like I got way too emotional there. And I'll see you next time. Bye.